Good morning, I am Praram Adahal. Let's begin with the main stories. Government side positive towards Dr. Govinda Kesari's demands. Both sides expected to reach a consensus today. Minister for Law Sherbadul Tamang resigns following his controversial statement on the integrity of Nepalese female students studying in Bangladesh. Pakistan prepares to vote after a campaign overshadowed by concerns of attempted manipulation and violence. Nearly 106 million people are registered. And FIFA announces the shortlist including Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo for its Men's Best Player award. Neymar misses out from the list, which includes 10 players. Let us now begin with the latest national political updates. Government has expressed positivity towards majority of the demands put forth by the fast unto death Dr. Govinda Kesari. Representatives from both the sides held a 4-hour-long discussions at the Ministry of Education yesterday evening to reach closer to an agreement. However, there still are a few issues that need to be further discussed on, which is slated for today. The demands put forth by Dr. Kesari include a prohibition in establishing new medical colleges in the capital for 10 years, limiting one university's affiliation to 5 colleges, and a commitment from the government to establish medical colleges in Pasthar, Dareldhura and Udaipur, among other places. Prime Minister Oli had earlier held a 3-hour-long meeting with the coordinator for Medical Education Reformation Committee, Kedar Vakta Mathema, and Chairman of Nepal Medical Council, Dharmakanta Baskota. Minister for Law, Justice and Federal Affairs Sherbadul Tamang has resigned from his post after widespread criticism over a recent controversial remark he made on female Nepalese medical students pursuing their MBBS in Bangladesh. The minister had announced of his resignation at a press conference held at his ministry yesterday afternoon. The ruling Nepal Communist Party had directed the minister to resign from his post after he was widely criticized. At the press conference held yesterday, Minister Tamang said his simple statements were misunderstood and were morally obligated to resign from his post.
देश विकासको पूर्वाधार खडा गरिरहेको अवस्थामा सरकारकै असफलताको रूपमा जोडेर अतिरञ्जित नाराहरू लगाउने कार्य भइरहेकोले प्रधानमन्त्री र सरकारलाई सफल बनाउन र निहित स्वार्थ बोकेकाहरूलाई परास्त गर्न म मेरो पदभन्दा पनि प्रतिष्ठाको खातिर काम गर्ने व्यक्ति भएकोले मैले मन्त्री पदबाट राजीनामा दिनुपर्छ भन्ने ठानी नैतिकताको आधारमा सम्माननीय प्रधानमन्त्रीजी समक्ष राजीनामा पेश गर्न गइरहेको छु.
Minister Tamang seemed to be having a hard time collecting himself during his press address. The minister had opined that female students in Bangladesh had to submit to sexual exploitations to attain their MBBS degrees, which the public at large criticized the minister for. Minister Tamang's incident has left a lesson for other officials at power to not take their position lightly and to refrain from making baseless remarks. However, Minister Tamang was not the only one who presented himself in an unethical manner. Prior to Minister Tamang's comments, coordinator of BNC Medical College, Durga Prasai, had made similar remarks that sparked an outrage on social media. While Minister Tamang owed up to his mistake and felt a moral obligation to resign, it is yet to be seen what businessman Durga Prasai will do. According to constitutional provisions, a parliamentary hearing should be held to appoint chiefs of constitutional bodies and ambassadors. This provision is in trend ever since the First Amendment of the interim constitution. However, the cases that are filed in this regard are not only taken seriously and investigations are not held with genuine concern. There are 5 cases filed against the recommended Chief Justice Deepak Raj Joshi. Joshi has been accused of serious complaints which not just question his ethics when he served as a justice, but also accuses him of being in a relationship with middlemen and defending corruption. The Parliamentary Hearing Committee called those who filed the complaint against Joshi for interrogation yesterday. Meanwhile, Joshi has been called on Thursday by the Parliamentary Hearing Committee. Merely by looking at the time frame, it is clear that the committee is just conducting official procedure for formality despite holding stern investigation against the cases that have been filed against him. At the time of hearing, the committee members will conduct interrogation with Joshi, where Joshi is expected to defend himself. However, no matter how serious the allegations are, the committee is not seen willing to take the issue seriously. Former Chief Justices Gopal Prasad Parazuli and Damodar Prasad Sharma, who were recommended by the Parliamentary Committee, could not be untouched of controversies. Both Parazuli and Sharma are also accused of similar crimes that Joshi is indulged in at the moment. This pretty much clarifies the essence and the result of the formation of the committee. It is now time for a short break for more news. To stay with us. The government has ordered Pappu Constructions to dismantle the bridge under construction in Teku, citing that the bridge does not meet its required standard. However, the construction company has been ignoring the government's direction. The bridge was constructed at an investment of 200 million rupees. The 60-meter long bridge that connects Kalimati and Teku had been assigned to Pappu Construction, which is being run by Hari Narayan Roniar, who is also a lawmaker from province number 3. Despite committing to complete the project within 2 years of its commencement, the company has not only failed to complete the project on time, but has also been neglecting its responsibilities in the extended time. Following an assessment conducted in January, the government had discovered errors in the foundation along with other several technical weaknesses. According to an assessment report, the bridge can collapse anytime as the materials used in its construction are not up to par. Pappu Constructions has failed to submit to the government the quality assurance certificate of the materials used in the construction of the bridge. The project commenced around 4 years ago. Based upon the extended timeline, the bridge should have been completed by last December. Lawmaker Roniar's son Sumit, however, insists that the bridge does not need any reconstruction. The project was initiated with a loan from Asian Development Bank. 130 million rupees have already been spent in the project so far. The lack of monitoring on behalf of the government and stern actions has caused the waste of resources. The government has announced of constructing 1 mega hydropower project in each of the 6 provinces in the ongoing fiscal year. In Province 2 that does not have any hydropower prospects, the government has announced of constructing a 200 megawatt capacity solar power plant. However, judging by the failures of completing even a single mega project, these announcements again seem feeble in terms of execution. The 456 megawatt Upper Tamakoshi project, deemed the biggest project to date, is still under construction. Likewise, apart from the 92 megawatt Kulikhani project, other dam projects have not been completed. Considering this background, it seems far-fetched of the Energy Ministry to aim of constructing 6 mega projects. The ministry has a target of producing 15,000 megawatt electricity in the next 10 years. However, inadequate financial resources are sure to pose a challenge to the ministry's plans, given another 1200 megawatt Budi Gandaki hydropower project, which has been struggling to progress. In order to fulfill the growing energy demand, it is imperative on the part of the government to make plans for mega projects. However, the outstretched ambition indicates that the government also needs to assess its capacity first before indulging in yet another series of promises. And yesterday, we'd asked the locals of Jhapa and Makwanpur what they have to say about ministers making controversial remarks at public events. Let us now take a look at what they had to say.
Public voice.
बोल्दाखेरि बुझेर बोल्नु पर्यो नेपाली चेलीहरू विदेश गएर अध्ययन गर्दैमा नराम्रो हुन्छ भन्ने छैन त्यो वास्तविकता के हो भनेर बुझ्नुपर्छ यदि नराम्रो कुनैहरु हुने कुरा भयो भने पनि उहाँले सम्भाषण दिनुपर्ने कुरा हो पावरमा पुगेपछि मैले यो जे बोल्दा पनि हुन्छ भन्ने चाहिँ अहमता हो बहुमतको सरकार हामीले जे गर्दा पनि हुन्छ भन्ने लाग्यो होला यो तानाशाही प्रवृत्ति हो यसलाई रोक्नुपर्छ जनताले उनीहरुलाई दिएको जिम्मेवारी आफ्नो सेक्टरको जुन जिम्मेवारी छ त्यो नबुझेर चाहिँ त्यस्ता कार्यक्रमहरुमा गएका हुन् कार्यक्रम आयोजना गर्नेहरुले पनि आफ्नो कार्यक्रमको औचित्य कस्तो छ भन्ने बुझेर उहाँहरुलाई समावेश गराउने या नगराउने भन्ने विषयमा अलिकति सोचिदिए राम्रो हुन्थ्यो
म नेता हो भनेर चाहिँ जनताको माझमा चिनाउनको लागि चाहिँ गरेको जस्तो मलाई लाग्छ
मन्त्रीहरुले चाहिँ विभिन्न शासनको कार्यक्रममा गएर जथाभावी बोल्दिनु भएन आफ्नो पदको गरिमाको कुराहरुलाई पनि उहाँहरुले चाहिँ ख्याल गर्नुपर्ने हुन्छ
आफ्नो चाहिँ ओहदाको चाहिँ दायित्व बुझेर चाहिँ बोल्नु पर्थ्यो त्यो बुझिराखे जस्तो लाग्दैन उहाँहरुलाई अलिकति यो 2/3 को दम्म पनि भयो जस्तो चाहिँ महसुस गरिराखेको छु
It is now time for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
The question is, what should other ministers learn from the law minister's resignation incident? The options are A. Use words wisely, B. Be ethical, and C. Be work-oriented. The voting is on. You can type NEWS, select your option A, B or C and then send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. With that, let us move on to the sports news.
Sports news.
It is not a new fact that Nepal's sports lacks proper infrastructures, experts, trainers and modern equipments to help national athletes. A majority of these Nepalese players are preparing for the Asian Games are currently taking trainings abroad. However, due to the negligence of the Athletics Association, 6 athletics players were sent to bear the heat of Kolkata, India in the name of training. The tragedy of the association's decision is that 2 marathon runners had to return home as they passed out due to the high temperature in Kolkata. The remaining 4 are trying their best to adjust themselves to Kolkata's climate. On 9th of July, these athletes were sent to Kolkata, where the outside temperature has gone up to 44 degrees Celsius. On top of the unbearable heat, they are having to practice in traffic-congested tracks and roads. The 2 players who passed out returned home on the 3rd day of their training. To prepare for a tournament, usually a marathon runner practices for 2 days on a well-maintained track and covers a 48-kilometer run in an open road or a ground. However, despite the poor training conditions, the association failed to take any initiatives in support of the athletes and they had to reach out to the Nepal Sports Council for help. Despite harsh conditions, 4 of the remaining players are trying their best to continue with their training in India. However, it is doubtful this type of excruciating training provision would do any good in preparing the athletes to attend their best form for any tournament. It has been 3 months since Karma Chiring Sherpa has been elected as the president of the All Nepal Football Association ANFA. Nepalese football had hopes that the working committee under the leadership of Sherpa would bring change in the sport. But on the contrary, the officials and members of ANFA's working committee are preparing to make arrangements to make provision to entitle themselves to earn salaries. Karma Chiring Sherpa's main agenda during election was financial transparency and impartiality. But after holding the posts, ANFA President Sherpa and the officials and members of the working committee are demanding that they should be provided salaries. In recent time, ANFA is busy holding discussions in this regard. Meanwhile, in the statutes of the International Governing Body of Football, FIFA, Asian Football Confederation AFC, and even ANFA, it is not mentioned that officials and members of the working committees are entitled to receiving salaries. However, according to a source, preparations are being made to take the salary proposal to ANFA's general meeting within a month. There are a total of 17 members in the working committee of ANFA, including the ANFA president. And now, before we wrap up, here's a look at the top stories one more time. Government side positive towards Dr. Govinda case's demands. Both sides expected to reach a consensus today. Minister for Law Shaibadur Tamang resigns following his controversial statement on the integrity of Nepalese women students studying in Bangladesh. Pakistan prepares to vote after a campaign overshadowed by concerns of attempted manipulation and violence. Nearly 106 million people are registered. And FIFA announces a shortlist including Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo for its Men's Best Player Award. Neymar misses out from the list, which includes 10 players. That is all for the moment. Our next English bulletin will air at 11 a.m. Keep watching Kantipur Television ST for more news and entertainment. Have a great day ahead.